So, funny story. I legitimately almost finished this entire recording and I have to redo it because I didn't have the mic on. Well, before we get this started, here's a warning. This rant talks badly about Nightcloud, Breezepelt, and Crowfeather. It also discusses possessive relationships and may disturb some audiences. Also, there may be spoilers ahead, so yeah. Don't you just love how the Warrior Cats fandom absolutely victimizes Nightcloud and Breezepelt while hurling Crowfeather into the deepest, darkest pits of cat hell? I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely hate all three of them, and I would love to see them gone from the books permanently. But interestingly enough, they just never seem to just go away. My biggest problem, however, has nothing to do with if Breezepelt was or wasn't being treated badly by Crowfeather, or not even me screaming about how absolutely horrible Breezepelt is. Let's be real, Moonkitty completely owned that topic. So instead of letting the completed Phantom rants on that topic that I was literally just working on the cover before it would have been released die in the flames of my fireplace for all eternity, I figured I'd take the prominent topic that seemed to come up in the rant and just roll with it. Well, what is that, you ask? Well, it's Nightcloud and Crowfeather's relationship as a whole, and why everything is not entirely as black and white as you may think it to be. Do you guys remember that fun little time in Night Whispers when the whole family feud over the thrush broke out of the border? No? Well, I do. Breezepelt in his infinite wisdom chased a thrush right across the ThunderClan border, and Lionblaze catches it. As the warrior code dictates, the prey caught on the ThunderClan land is ThunderClan's, and Breezepelt is just being edgy and, I guess, hungry and decides to start a fight about it. Crowfeather literally just sits there and does nothing till Leafpool starts up her dramatic outcry and about Crowfeather just letting his sons fight. Now, before I go on, I'd like to make this very clear. Very clear. Nothing Crowfeather says or does here is by any means wrong, and this topic was completely and totally brought up by Leafpool. He's a loyal WindClan cat who loves and cherishes, quotation marks there, his WindClan family, and has pointed this out on multiple occasions. He's told them straight to his face previously that his only son is Breezepelt. I feel like I messed up that sentence. Oh god. And his only mate is Nightcloud. If you keep this in mind, you'll see the problems with what comes next. Crowfeather doesn't even get the chance to rebuttal before Nightcloud shows up and snaps at Leafpool the exact same words Crowfeather has said prior. Like, I don't know, 2-3 books ago? Breezepelt, being the edgy murder child that he is, decides to now literally attack Lionblaze again for no reason at this point, since, you know, there's a whole different argument happening. And Leafpool, being the delicate and pathetic damsel in distress that she always seems to be lately, decides to protect Lionblaze and gets mauled instead. Crowfeather, being the only one who seems to realize the pointlessness of this battle in the first place, pulls his son off Leafpool and tells her that she gave him up for her clan. Leafpool dramatically responds that this doesn't mean that she didn't love him. Reminder that once again this relationship drama is the main focus of the argument right now because Leafpool brought it up, not because Crowfeather is trying to betray his mate or anything. Crowfeather is still clearly sore about her betrayal and basically says that she clearly didn't love him enough. Nightcloud at this moment is so jealous that her mate is rejecting his ex-girlfriend that she sinks her claws into him and drags him away. Because, you know, there's no other way that she could have possibly handled the situation of her love rival being rejected than, you know, clawing up her mate. Okay. As expected, Crowfeather has a WTF moment, and Breezepelt comes in and acts like Nightcloud's the victim here. I'm sorry, what? I mean, sure, Crowfeather is a piece of garbage who needs to be thrown out, but really, I mean, I'd hiss too if I literally just got clawed up for no clear and obvious reason. I understand you don't want Crowfeather interacting with Leafpool, but really? Was all that necessary? So I'm sure you're all really confused right now. Phantom, what does this have to do with anything? You ask through accusatory eyes. This was clearly just some family drama. Crowfeather shouldn't have gotten dragged along at Leafpool's pace in the first place. I assure you, I have a reason for this. I'd like to take a fun little quote from Nightcloud's page on the Warriors Wiki. It's literally Rock describing the basics of what I'm about to explain to you, so listen up. If Nightcloud were a gentle, loving cat like Leafpool, or feisty and warm-hearted like Squirrelflight, It would be easier to feel sorry for her. After all, Crowfeather took her as a mate to prove he was loyal to WindClan in spite of trying to run off with the ThunderClan Medicine Cat. But she's a difficult she-cat to like, with her short temper and her possessiveness over Crowfeather and her son Breezepaw. Rock About Nightcloud in Cats of the Clans, page 54. Nightcloud is possessive. She thinks of Crowfeather and Breezepelt as objects that she owns and controls. Wait a gosh darn moment, Phantom. That's a little harsh, don't you think? No, I don't. Understand a little something about relationships. There's always a point where everyone is willing to step away. Nightcloud isn't some delicate flower like Leafpool. She's strong, confident, and very, very aggressive. Think about those monsters in MMORPGs that always aggro onto you if you get within their attack radius, even if you don't actually attack them first. That is Nightcloud. She's not the type of cat who would stick around if she really felt wronged by Crowfeather. If she saw him as a cat that was using her and cared nothing about her, she'd throw him out like a stale mouse. So why doesn't she? Well, obviously because she literally and metaphorically has her claws stuck into him. You see, the foundation of a possessive relationship is control. I have some sort of power over you that prevents you from leaving me. That power in this relationship, as with many others, is Breezepelt. She has a child with Crowfeather, who he loves. I'm sure some of you may disagree, but Crowfeather genuinely does love Breezepelt. And I say this for the same reasons I say he loves Nightcloud. You're only willing to do so much for a person you hate, and I'm pretty sure Crowfeather has been put through the ringer with those two. Nightcloud's verbal slandering, Breezepelt's terrible behavior and arguing, yet at the end of the day, Crowfeather puts up with it. He's long since proven his loyalty to his clan since he raised Breezepelt with Nightcloud. I don't think anyone will blame him for cutting him off after that, but he stays. That should tell you something. This is no longer about proving himself to anyone. However, despite his loyalty, isn't it strange that Nightcloud still gets angry with him? More importantly, the only time they really seem to argue is when Leafpool is involved. She fears that his feelings for the ThunderClan Medicine Cat will take him away from her, and in order to prevent this, she tries to break him down instead. Of course, this is difficult when the cat you're fighting with is the biggest jerk in all 5 clans, thus we have our dearest Breezepelt. To Nightcloud, Breezepelt is an object, no different than his father. As long as he remains hers and loves her as his mother, she's willing to love and coddle him. She fills his head with the belief that he is greater than he really is and defends him from Crowfeather's much stricter parenting style. She convinces him that Crowfeather is wrong, and with that love, Breezepelt is on her side. With both his mate and son on the other side, Crowfeather doesn't have much of a standing in the argument. If he argues back, he's wrong. If he leaves, he's abandoning them just like they knew he always would. He's stuck in a trap he genuinely cannot break free of and has no choice but to suffer under the consequences of his actions. If only he pulled a Finpaw, he might have had a better life. At the end of the day, I hate all these cats and their drama-filled lives. I hope you enjoyed this rant, though.